Hi, everyone. Welcome to Enjoy English. I'm Steven.
I'm Minnie.
Today's day is August 12th. Please look at pages 24 to 25 under composition.
那我们今天8月12号，我们在第24到25页，我们今天要来看图写作。
All right, so the title today is Which payment method do you prefer?
那我们今天的主题是现金 versus 信用卡，你偏好哪一种付款方式？
Right, so 偏好 is prefer, okay? And then payment method. So payment is a noun, and it's just a way of paying for something. And method is just 方式. So which payment method do you prefer? Another question a lot of people will ask is, how would you like to pay?
How would you like to pay? 你想要怎么付款？
Yeah, so that's something we commonly hear.
我们现在除了现金跟信用卡，还有一个就是 Line Pay 那种东西，叫做线上支付。
Electronic pay. Yes, so there are many different options, but today we're going to talk about cash or credit card.
Which payment method do you prefer? There are different ways people pay for things. For example, in picture A, a person is paying with cash, which is direct and reliable because the payment is done the moment the money changes hands. Picture B, however, shows someone paying with a credit card. This allows people to track their spending more easily and earn rewards. While both methods have their advantages, many people today prefer the convenience of using credit cards. Personally, I prefer using credit cards. To begin with, carrying a card is safer than carrying a large amount of cash. If my wallet gets stolen, recovering cash can be difficult, but my credit card can be canceled right away. In addition, using a card helps me avoid carrying heavy coins. It is also useful for unexpected expenses when I don't have enough cash on hand. For these reasons, credit cards better suit my daily needs.
There are different ways people pay for things.
开头就告诉你，人们有不同的方式购买商品。
Yeah, so here, just something to pay attention to in terms of composition. And we do mention this every lesson just to really drill in this concept. But whenever you have like these two paragraphs, the first paragraph, you have to kind of give a general idea of the topic that we're talking about. And then the second paragraph is when you put in your own personal opinion or your personal choice in regards to the topic at hand.
那我们这边呢，我们都会记得我们在写作文的时候，我们第一段通常会讲一个 general 比较大概大方向的，一般来说都是怎样，那大部分人都怎么想。那第二段开始就会讲你的 personal thought， 你自己的个人的感受，你的 opinion， 你的想法，或者是你自己的偏好。
我刚才有提到一个depending on the topic at hand， 这个 at hand 就是说你手下现在有的东西 ，OK？ So it just depends on what topic you have, and then you can give your opinion based on that. Okay? So here, pay for things, the things here is just 东西, how people pay for these things. Okay, 怎么用什么样的方式去付款买这些东西. For example, in picture A, a person is paying with cash, which is direct and reliable because the payment is done the moment the money changes hands.
好，所以我们第一句告诉你有不同的方式，然后立刻他就来切入主题。他说，例如在图片 A 中，一个人正在用现金付款，这种方式直接又可靠，就是 reliable 这个字，因为现金一在交手的瞬间就完成了付款。
So, yeah, when you're writing something and then you have pictures, it's good to kind of make sure
you draw attention.
Yeah, you don't want to like start with it right away. I think you kind of have to give like a general, like kind of like when you're having conversation, you can't just be like, like the food was good, right? You have to be like,
how do you think about the food?
Oh, what did you do today? Oh, you ate. you kind of have to lead up to the main idea.
Like a warm up,
Yeah.
暖身的感觉。
Yeah, but sometimes like the warm up can just be one sentence, and then right away go into the main topic or talking about the pictures. I only mention this because sometimes I feel people will kind of ramble, and then just kind of go on and on and on, and then forget what the main thing that they need to talk about is.
Ramble 碎碎念啊。
Yeah, and so it's kind of like people are like, oh, wait, when are we going to talk about the main topic, right? So this author kind of goes right into the main topic in the second sentence and draws our attention to the pictures that we have.
Smart.
Yes. And then also I want to call attention to when you're describing a picture to people, that a lot of times we use the present continuous. So a person is paying with cash, based off of what we see from the picture. Okay?
所以 present continuous 就是所谓的现在进行式。所以我们通常在形容一张图片的时候，不管你今天是在写作文，或者是说你今天是在考口说的题目，based on this picture, I see 什么什么 ，they are doing 什么什么 ，they are doing 这个就是所谓的现在进行式。所以记得我们在形容图片的时候，通常我们常常使用的这个词性叫现在进行式。
So a person is paying how? With cash. Okay, so if someone asks you, how are you going to pay? And you want to pay with cash, you just answer, I'm going to pay with cash. Or sometimes you can just answer cash. Okay, but if you want to use the verb, make sure you have that preposition with. Okay, so cash is direct. That means it's very straightforward. Okay,
直接
and reliable. Okay, so it's consistently trustworthy. The opposite of reliable is unreliable, just adding a U in. But cash is reliable. Okay, you can trust it. Okay, you're not going to be cheated unless the bill is fake. There's always that small possibility. Okay, the payment is done the moment, so right when the money changes hands. That means when it goes from one person's hand to another.
老师刚刚有讲到一个 trustworthy， 这边可以稍微记一下是 Trust trust， 然后 Worthy worthy。OK， 这是 trustworthy 就是值得信赖的。其实，在近期的文章或者是同学写作也越来越常出现这样的讲法。那要注意的是 worthy 它是一个形容词，不是 worth it。有很多人他想要写这个，可是他会写成 worth it。
可能听起来像对。So, trustworthy。OK。我刚才也是说 consistently trustworthy，因为 reliable 就是不能只是一次的觉得它 reliable。
没错。
Usually it's based off experience. Like after 1 or 2 or 3 times, you're like, okay, I can trust this person.
除非你拿到假钞，老师刚刚有讲，你拿到假钞。那如果没有假钞的问题的话，它就是值得信赖的一种货币。
Yes. Okay, let's continue. Picture B, however, shows someone paying with a credit card.
好，所以他这边告诉你，而图片 B 显示有人正在使用信用卡付款，所以我们刚刚有 with cash， 这边是 with a credit card.
So here you could also put however at the beginning of the sentence. But I think sometimes the author just wants to not really, focus so much on the contradictory meaning, but also just kind of being like picture B. Oh, let's focus on that first. However, 怎样。
老师刚刚讲的 contradictory 就是我们的正反反正，就是它的相反意义。那有时候我们 however 提到句首来看的时候，我们是要强调说接下来可能会有转折。可这边我们不是要强调转折，我们要强调的是我们接下来移到图片 B，所以我们 picture B 先写。
Yes. Okay, so shows someone paying with a credit card. So we see paying with. We see that preposition with again. Okay, with a credit card. But since cash is something that we can't count, okay, it's paid with cash, but credit cards is something that you can count. So it's with a credit card.
所以可数不可数还是很重要。可数的东西我们还是需要加一个量词，像 an 或者是 a。那 cash 不可数，所以我们就直接加。
Yes. And now here we see shows, right? The picture shows someone doing this action. Another verb you can use is depicts. Okay, D-E-P-I-C-T. Okay, depicts someone paying with a credit card. Means the same thing.
就是代表说呈现、显示的意思。
This allows people to track their spending more easily and earn rewards.
所以他说这让人们可以更轻松的追踪他们的花费，并赚取回馈。那这一句话它是接在上一个 picture B 后面写的，所以我们很清楚的可以知道他说的这边可以赚回馈，或者是可以更好追踪他们的花费，是指信用卡这个付款方式。
Yes, so here the verb track, another way you could use, another thing you could say is keep record of. Okay, this allows people to keep record of their spending. The track is just one word that can, like substitute those three words. Okay.
那 keep record of 是 K-E-P, keep, R-E-C-O-R-D, record, 然后 O-F-R.
Yes. Okay, so it allows them to track their spending. So the spending in this sentence is not a verb, it's a noun.
花费的名词。
花费. The track their spending more easily and earn rewards. What does it mean by earn rewards? You'll often hear that when you're listening to a credit card commercial. Okay, rewards are things that you get by doing something. Okay, so when you earn, that means when you get these rewards, usually credit cards will have like a deal whenever you use their credit card, you'll get some money back, or you'll get some points, or you'll get some discounts. That's what it means by earn or get these rewards.
那近期比较夯的那个 reward， 他们叫 cashback.
Oh, yes.
呀，就是代表说你有现金回馈。那有一些信用卡不是给你现金回馈，可能给你里程，飞机的里程 ，mileage， 或者是可能就像刚刚老师讲的 points。对，那你就可能会有类似像拍点或什么点这样子，然后你就可以把它视同现金的使用，这就叫做 rewards。
那个 mileage 我们提到是 M-I-L-E-A-G-E, mileage. Okay? All right. While both methods have their advantages, many people today prefer the convenience of using credit cards.
这边的句子从 while 开始，他说的 while both methods 这边其实就是虽然 ，OK，虽然这两种方式各有优势，现今许多人更偏好使用信用卡带来的便利。
Yeah, so you could say although both methods have their advantages. Okay, 好处. So the opposite of advantage is disadvantage. Just add a D-I-S in the beginning. Many people today prefer this verb, we mentioned it in the title.
偏好.
偏好. You like to do one thing over the other. Today, people prefer the convenience. Okay, convenience means something that is easy to get, easy to reach, or easy to obtain. Okay, the adjective form is convenient. Okay, taking out the CE and adding a T. The convenience of using credit cards.
那 convenience 这个字最常看到就是便利商店，台湾的
convenience stores.
对，没错 ，convenience stores.
Okay, let's take a short break. All right, so here in this paragraph, we're going to start talking about the opinion of the author. Personally, I prefer using credit cards.
所以他这边要开始提到他自己的想法了，所以他的开头他就告诉你 personally， 也就是依我自己而言，就我个人而言 ，I prefer credit cards， 我偏好使用信用卡。
So I like how it starts out with that word personally. Right away, we know that this is going to be this person's opinion, right? Because sometimes, not everyone's going to know that your second paragraph is going to be focused on your own opinion. It's not like a rule that is universal or used by everyone that your second paragraph is going to have to be about your opinion. No. So it's always a good technique to let people know right away, this paragraph is going to be about me and how I feel. Okay, and also it's letting you know right away, this is going to be a very subjective paragraph.
很主观。
很主观. It's not going to be like something that you have to believe as well. So it gets people in the right state of mind.
没错，就是预备读者的心态说，接下来讲的事情是作者他自己想的。那当然除了 personally 以外，很常见的就是I thought, in my opinion, from my own perspective， 这些都是会把聚焦刚刚的 general situation 聚焦到自己身上的一种写法的方法。
Yes. And then pay attention to the verb that comes after prefer, right? Because in the previous paragraph, we said prefer the convenience of using credit cards. We had a noun after prefer. Here we have a verb. So the verb that comes after prefer has to be in the ing form. I prefer doing something. I prefer using credit cards. To begin with, carrying a card is safer than carrying a large amount of cash.
所以他说 to begin with， 首先也就是 firstly 的意思，他用了不同的写法。他说携带信用卡比携带大量的现金更安全。
All right, so we have a comparison here. Doing one thing is safer than doing something else. Okay, so carrying a card. So carry just means 带着, right? Okay, it doesn't really necessarily mean you have to
扛着它.
It can just mean it's on your body.
Yes.
So carrying a card is safer than. Okay, so make sure when there's a comparison, we have THAN. A lot of people, even people who are native English speakers, will confuse than, this comparison word, to then, THEN. Okay, 然后的那个 then. Okay, carrying a large amount, 你也可以说 carrying a lot of cash. Okay, 只是 also remember cash 就是不可数. Okay, if my wallet gets stolen, recovering cash can be difficult, but my credit card can be canceled right away. Wallet gets stolen, 因为它是被偷. Okay, so if my wallet gets stolen, all right, so the verb, the present tense of stolen is steal, S-T-E-A-L. Okay, so it's very different in this form.
没错
right?
Steal, stole, stolen. 它是
stolen.
ABC 是不完全一样的那种形式，是最难背的那种形式，所以大家要注意。
Yes. And then we see recovering cash. Wow, we see this verb recover usually used when we're saying we're
Speedy recovery.
yeah, when we're injured or when we're sick and we need to get better, right?
对，早日康复哦，这种康复我们就会用 recover。
Yeah, so recover can also mean getting something back.
对，
Okay,
所以
so,
重新找回我们也可以叫 recover。
yeah, getting your cash back. So recovering your cash can be difficult or can be hard. Instead of difficult, you can also use that word H-A-R-D. Okay, but my credit card can be canceled right away. So right away, another word you could use is immediately. I-M-M-E-D-I-A-T-E-L-Y. Immediately. In addition, using a card helps me avoid carrying heavy coins.
所以这边又出现 in addition。此外，使用信用卡可以避免携带 heavy coins 沉重的零钱。
So I like that in addition in this sentence because the author is letting the listener or the reader know that I'm going to give you another thing, another reason why I think using a credit card is better because I can avoid carrying heavy coins. Okay, avoid doing something 就是避免去做一个事情。
后面也是 ing。
Yeah, the verb after has to be in the ing form as well. Let's talk about that word carrying as well. It might be a little bit difficult to pronounce. So carry, the present tense, C-A-R-R-Y, carry, and then adding an ing, carrying. Okay, you have to add a Y-I-N-G at the end to let that ying sound come out. Carrying. Okay. Because I do notice a lot of times when my students are saying words like that, they won't
carry.
I think they think they're saying it correctly.
Not hard enough.
Yeah, not hard enough. So that sound doesn't come out. So it just sounds like they're saying carry with a long Y sound. Yeah. It's very easy to make that mistake. So just make sure you say carrying. Okay. It is also useful for unexpected expenses when I don't have enough cash on hand.
所以你看他这一段他用了很多方法，一直在乘加，一直在叠，就是使用信用卡的好处。这一点也是我们在 composition 里面可以学到的一个手法。那这一句他又在讲另外一个好处，他说当手头现金不足时，信用卡也能应付意外的支出。
So useful for something. Okay, 有这个用处，有这个好处。Okay, useful for unexpected expenses. So when we say that something is expected, that means that we know it's going to happen. Okay, but if something happens and we weren't ready for it or we didn't see it coming, then it is unexpected. Okay, 没有被期待，没有被预期的。
没错。
Unexpected expenses 是没有被预期的一些费用。Okay, so expense is a cost of living or money spent.
花费。
Yeah, 花费。When I don't have enough cash on hand. So we have on hand what we talked about earlier, which means things that are ready to use.
就是手头上的意思，就是你好像唾手可得这样子。
And I think in this, so far, we have seen hand at least twice. Okay, in the previous paragraph, we had the moment the money changes hands.
换手。
对，真的就是手。然后这个是
另外一只手。
On hand 就是一个 phrase, ready to use or ready. 你刚才是说什么手？
就是手头上。
手头上 Okay. And then we also have hand. It can be used as a verb. Okay, I'm going to hand you my iPad. Okay, 就是交给你的意思，递到你的手上 hand it to you. And then there's also, I gotta hand it to you. You did a great job. 这个又是一个说法是，我必须要跟你说，我要给你一个赞美。
所以它有点像是捧着赞美送给你的感觉。
Yeah. Gotta hand it to you. You did a great job. Okay, so hand can be used in a lot of different ways. Okay, for these reasons, credit cards better suit my daily needs.
那 for these reasons 它就是基于这些原因，信用卡更符合我的日常需求。
So suit my needs is the main idea. So 适合我的需求。它这里是 better suit my daily needs， 就是更
好，更
符合我的 daily needs. Daily means 日常的，天天的，我日常的需求。Okay, so need, N-E-E-D, can be a verb, which means 需要, but then in this sentence it's being used as a noun. Okay, 你的需求。
没错。
And you can also learn the word suitable. S-U-I-T-A-B-L-E, suitable. So for these reasons, credit cards are more suitable for me. This is also another way the author could have written it if they wanted to teach you that adjective.
更适合。
Suitable. Yes. So suit, that word, and as a noun means 西装, right? So 西装 is like something you really have to get that fit your body, right? You have to get it tailored. So that's why you can imagine it as if you're having trouble remembering what it means as the verb, think about the suit.
量身定做的感觉。
要量身定做的 So suit you 就是说符合你。
The suit suits you.
The suit suits you. 这个西装很符合你的身形. Right? So there's a lot of things like that it takes a little bit of creativity and memorization, but if you can use little mind games that help you remember these meanings, I think it will help you a lot. Yeah, especially when you're taking tests.
Yeah.
Or even when you're having conversations with friends, right? So, just to end the lesson, what do you prefer?
I'm an old person. I love cash.
Yeah, easier, right? Sometimes.
I like to feel that I have money on hand.
Yeah. I kind of agree. But sometimes credit cards do really make it easier to track your expenses.
True.
So you're not spending more than you make.
But credit card is also dangerous. Sometimes because you just ching,
Yeah, it's so
and then
easy.
you don't feel like you spend money.
Yeah, but then you're left with a lot of debt.
Debt.
D-E-B-T.
B 不发音。
Yeah, and that
那就
means
是代表说你有很多的负债。
yeah, it's a scary word. We'll
It
try not to learn it. Okay. All right. Hope you guys learned a lot. We'll see you next time.
Bye bye.